My name's Shaquan, but a lot of people know me by my other name, Mad Skills. I'm an MC.
My name is Mad Skills. Paris, make some noise.
I'm a DJ.
Oh, yeah.
I'm a ghostwriter for some of your favorite rappers. I'm not about to tell you who, though. But most importantly, I'm a hip-hop enthusiast. Hip-Hop Confessions is raw, unfiltered conversations with my friends revealing things that they didn't like, never knew about,
I don't know.
or never got into about hip-hop culture. So sit back,
Oh, come on, y'all.
turn up the volume,
Hip-hop.
and listen to Hip-Hop Confessions. Because everybody's got one.
Here's a little story that must be told.
And it goes a little something like this.
Yo, what's up, y'all? This your boy, Mad Skills, and we are back. This is Hip Hop Confessions, a podcast where I bring on my friends, my brothers, people that I know, and we either tell you a story that you've never heard before or a straight up hip hop confession about an opinion or something of that sort. Today, I got two legendary, oh man, these two dudes are icons to me. We go back at least 20 years, 25 years, you know what I mean, with each of them. Two amazing DJs. I'm going to introduce them one at a time. First is my guy out of Rochester, New York, one of the greatest DJs I've ever seen or heard in my life. One of the most creative people I've ever met in my life. Y'all give it up for my bro, DJ Green Landon. Make some noise for him. Yes.
Peace and blessings.
How are you, King?
I'm well, my guy. How are you? God is great.
Oh, man, listen, I'm happy to have you here. I'm excited.
Me too. Shit.
I'm
let's hit
excited.
this shit. Me too. Let's get it.
And to my left, I have my OG, and I don't use that term lightly. I don't say that a lot. I'm not like these new dudes. Everybody ain't my OG. I only got a couple. This guy right here is a true OG, one of the greatest DJs and people that I've ever met. Very influential in my career. Gave me a shot when nobody else would, and we've been friends ever since. Listen, man, the legendary Brooklyn, God's favorite DJ. Y'all make some noise for DJ Clark Kent in the building.
Yo.
Peace.
How are you, sir?
I'm blessed. I'm highly favored. I am honored to be here, especially because you got somebody that I've known practically as long as I've known you here with us. This is really, really cool.
Wow, like family reunion. How long you known Green?
Shucks. I think since maybe one of his first New York trips.
Wow.
Yeah, early, super
I mean,
early.
like maybe first or second mixtape type Green Lantern.
Yeah,
Wow.
like actually before mixtape Greenland. That's what he knew.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I was college radio / beat maker.
Yes.
Yes. At that
Wow.
point, 93, I went to the seminar. I was DJing. I'm from Rochester, so I'm making beats, but my homie had this radio show on college radio at a college I didn't even go to, but they allowed community members. And they had a budget to send people. They was going to send 2 people to the city in 93 for the New Music Seminar. And I found out about it. I was like, the seminar? What did you I want to go. They were
Right.
like, yeah, cool. You know, there's only one other guy wants to go, but, you know, just make sure you get some station IDs and stuff. And, you know, I don't know why they did it, but they literally paid for a trip for me and some random dude to go for like 4 or 5 days to go to the New Music Seminar. And at that time, the MC battle and the DJ battle had been banned from the seminar for some violence. And Clark had picked up the mantle and said, nah, we're going to do the Superman battle. So I go to the city. I happened to be there one of those years. And it was the year that Skills and Super Nat ended up being on that finals of the being on the stage, and it was the tie, and it was the tiebreaker, and it was all of that. I was in that crowd. I literally I recorded it. I played it back on the air. I played the whole shit.
The battle on the radio?
Battle on the next week, and for like weeks after that, I played it. I could remember to this day some of the banter from Ed Lover and Dr. Dre, because they was hosting parts of it. I remember all of that shit.
Wow. I never knew you had that battle. Like, what's so crazy is I know that once the footage popped up of Jay and Jay-Z and Clark outside, and Jay was demolishing random guys,
some random
and signed known rappers, was looking at the cipher like, yeah, now I don't want no problems with him. I'm going to get in the car service, leaving. And I ain't gonna say no names, but I saw it. What's so crazy is when I saw the footage, I see it's still on my IG. I see a young Green Lantern in the crowd.
I was there.
And I was like,
tell
is that
story.
Green? With the Tommy Boy green, pass on your neck. And it's just so crazy for us to be full circle. You know what I'm saying? We were all there, bro.
Yo, I literally, you don't remember this because I was a nobody and you had people coming up to you afterwards. You was off in the cut. Clark
I was
and Jay
mad
was
because I
over
lost.
here. But you was off in the cut, and everybody recognized you, so everybody was coming up to you saying, yo, dope shit, you know what I'm saying, should have been you. That I was one of them people.
Wow.
I saw you over there, I went over there, peace show, like, yo, dope shit. And then I just went back to, we was just in the mix. And in that moment, I tell that story all the time. I've been telling this story since then. Well,
That's
really
crazy.
more so, not since then, but since probably about 96, 97, right. Since, Jay started bubbling more, right? I was like,
right.
Yo, a few years ago, I was at the fucking seminar and saw this dude.
At the thing.
Yeah, and then, but I've been really literally telling that story. And then a couple years ago, like you said, somebody came with the fucking footage.
Yeah. Yeah, like that was crazy to me to see that because it took me back.
I was literally split star that day.
Listen, OD, that's the old, and I've seen you like that before, but I've never seen you like that. But for those of you who don't know, the New Music Seminar was a conference that happened in the 90s, and Clark took over the MC DJ battles. And one year I was working at the parking deck in VA, and I saw the ad in the back of the source, and it said, send a 1-minute acapella freestyle to this address if you want to get in the battle. And I remember I sent it, and I think Ann Christoph contacted me and said, you've been picked. You're one of the select 16. It's happening in New York at this date.
I picked it.
Yes, Clark picked me. And so fast forward, the battle is being hosted by Superman Inc., which is Clark's company, DJ and MC battles. And the panel was the judging panel was hosted by Dr. Dre from Yo MTV Raps. Tracy Waples was judging. Sheena Lester was judging. Puff Daddy was judging. Was it Todd won? Was it Todd from
Todd.
Yo? Mm-hmm. Was hosting. Was judging.
Judging.
And I'll never forget, I was sitting in the hallway, and I was just looking at, everybody had to have their badges on, so I knew who was in the battle. We were all kind of congregated together, and it was just this one dude, and he was walking around talking to himself. And I was like, either this nigga crazy, or it's going to be me and him, because everybody else looked like they here for the jokes and the fun. He looked dead serious. And that guy turned out to be Supernatural. And the battle is on YouTube, which is kind of crazy because Supernatural is still hiding me to this day because he sent me the tape so I could get a copy of it. And I was like, send me a copy of the tape and I'm going to dump it to DVD and I'm going to send it back to you. And I dumped my parts and lost the tape. So
well done.
And I still
well
don't
done.
know.
It
might turn up. I think it might be it might be in my storage. It might be in my storage, or it might be at my ex's garage. But I think I have it, but I haven't been able to find it. So Supernat, I still apologize to you, brother. If I have that, you will get it back because I know it's a part of his history as well. But yeah, Clark, tell us about the Superman, the battles and how they came about.
Well, I was working with the New Music Seminar since they started the battles. So When you saw DJ Cheese win, I was working. When you saw Cash Money, I was working. When you saw the Jazzy Jets, when you saw all of those battles in the New Music Seminar, Scratch, all of that, I was working for the New Music Seminar, helping them select and put the battle together. So when they popped up and was like, it cost too much, I just was like, I can't let the DJs down.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I don't even know why I felt that way, but it's almost like I felt that way because everybody who got into those battles would see me and feel like the battle was official.
Right.
Because an
Facts.
official DJ is officially putting it on with them. Even though it was the New Music Seminar, basically I was doing the battles.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to listen to every goddamn tape. I had to select who was going to be, you know what I'm saying? So when it was time, it was easy to be able to do it because I had already been doing it. So I just put up some bread.
Right.
I don't know what compelled me to do the money part though. I don't know why I was like, I'm gonna just put this money up. And the funny part is the first one that I put the money up for, it was supposed to happen with the seminar.
Right.
And they just dropped out last minute. So that's the reason why the first one, there wasn't an MC battle.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? The first year that I took over, it wasn't an MC battle because it was too late for me to be like, okay, I'm going to put the money up for 2 battles.
Right.
So I put the money up for 1 battle. It was a DJ contest. It happened at the China Club. And the word from it was so crazy that the New Music Seminar people were like, okay, we'll give you the space,
right,
but you have to put it on. Right. So I went and got some money from Coca-Cola one year. And then the other years, I just put the money up myself. To me, it was more about, I'm a pure DJ and I loved the craft of rhyming. You know what I'm saying? I don't love rappers. I love MCs, and I wanted to see the best MCs get their shots. And the difference was when I threw the MC battle, they didn't win a belt. They won a deal.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? When you won the DJ contest, you didn't win a belt. You won a mini tour.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it was
the payoff
important
was bigger.
to win.
Right.
The payoff was bigger and it was better because I'm an artist too. So I'm thinking to myself, what's gonna make it better for them to be down with me than to be down with somebody else? Well,
right.
I'm gonna send you on a tour if you're a DJ. Oh, well, I'm gonna give you a record deal if you're an MC. You know what I'm saying? So I just felt like it was the right thing to do. And I was probably a little crazy at that precise moment, but fuck it.
Listen, man, that's history, man. I remember going into that, and I was probably like, the same way Green was, just going into that, and into that, into the Sheraton, Midtown, and seeing Bambaataa, seeing, you know what I'm saying, Ed Lover, Dr. Dre, like, and it wasn't a situation where I wasn't supposed to be there. Like, I was there. I had an official pass. Like, I was there. It's like, so you rubbing shoulders and, at that point, like Green would say, you walking around, you getting drops, you taking pictures, you know what I'm saying? Like the seminars, and the later ones would turn into, they would turn into, the Gavins and the Jack the Rapper was already popping and How Could I Be Down and, things of that nature. But, the Mix Show Power Summits, those were times where we got to congregate with our heroes. And,
I feel like I did a hip hop conference down where you're at, where you were in Virginia. I felt like I was on a panel at one of them. Yeah, okay. I'm not bugging.
Yeah, nah, definitely. So the tape got to you. I got picked. I came in second.
No, you didn't.
Technically.
Technically.
And I never forget it. Like I never forget it. Like, to this day, I think about that battle and what it meant, because, when I came up that road, when I came up 95, it was like I was coming to battle who and whoever. I was a very cocky, rambunctious, MC who just, I was trained at that. Like I was a pit. I was a pit bull.
Pure MC.
So when it didn't happen for me, I knew something else was gonna happen, and then you reached out and said, "Hey, I'm gonna do your demo, and like come up to my crib. We gonna hang out. I'm gonna do some songs for you. We're gonna get you like 4, 5, 6 songs, and you know what I'm saying."
Mhm.
And I was like, "I bet," and you stayed true to your word, and I'll never forget that. You know what I'm saying? Like I never forget sitting in your basement, like yo, I'm in DJ Clark Kent's crib making songs. And I tell
Yeah.
people to this day, that was one of the moments that changed my life because you said you was gonna do something and you did it, and
Well,
I'm
I
forever grateful
I
for that.
I came up in a time that was pretty different than like from the 90s on, keeping your word and doing what you say damn near went out the window. But it's not the fault of the actual people who it went out the window with. It's the fault of the crack era. The
Right.
crack era took 2 generations of OGs away from these young kids who would have taught them there's the rules. You know what I'm saying? And I'm from that era where you learned the rules. So in the 70s and 80s when I'm growing up, they're like, yo, if you say you're gonna do something, do it.
Right.
If you give somebody your word, you just gotta do it. So like I'm still that way. Like I won't tell anybody I'm gonna do something and not do it. You're just supposed to be that way. I teach my kids the same way. You say you're gonna do something, do it.
Yeah, nah, this podcast is a is a reflection of that. You hit me, I asked you, I text you, and you called me. I
Well,
text you and you called me and said, "Yo, when?" You don't have to say will I. Just tell me when.
well, like I explained to you on that phone call. I mean, and I hope this doesn't sound no way to anybody listening. Like to me, you are one of mine. You know what I'm saying? Not one of my kids, but like one of mine. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't look at you like, oh, that's Mad Skills, the rapper who came out with an album and I produced a song on him. I'm like, no, like this is before him making records.
Facts.
I kept him. You know what I'm
Facts.
saying? I'm like, nah, I really, really fuck with you. You know what I'm saying? I think you are talented. So I wanna, if I can do something, I'm gonna do it. And like let's try. And if it works out, it does. And if it doesn't, it's still cool because I liked you as a person. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? So
Right. I appreciate it.
I'm much more about the people. So once I get past the people part, the other things that we do are just things that we do. You know what I mean?
Facts. All right. Well, listen. The show is Hip Hop Confessions. So, Green Lantern, I need your hip hop confession. I know you got plenty. I just need one.
I'm gonna give you one.
All right.
Okay, one of my biggest milestones in my career came courtesy of a guy, an artist that I never rocked with until years after he passed. When he was alive, I did not like his music. I actually kind of didn't like him as a person from afar. Didn't know him at all, but just was turned off by his demeanor and whatnot, and never really rocked with his music like that. But it
Right.
became one of my biggest milestone mixtapes in my whole career.
Wow.
Was Tupac.
Wow.
I did the Tupac Rap Phenomenon mixtape.
I remember that amazing mixtape.
That was crazy.
Crazy. Classic.
Shout to Dirty Harry and Vlad, who was on it with me, okay? And that became one of, humbly, really kind of became one of the biggest mixtapes of all time.
Facts.
Like it's definitely probably it's in my top 3 in my catalog is that one. But I did not fuck with Tupac, bro, and we didn't make that tape until 7 years after he died.
Right.
Literally, we released it on the anniversary of his death,
Right.
like 7 years
7 years later.
Right? So, but nah, dog, I was not a Pac fan. I did not like how he went at Big. I didn't like the attitude. I didn't like the don't kill me, but I didn't like the simple rhyme structure
Right.
that my guy had.
Right.
Years later, I appreciated it for what it was. And
Right.
People connect with him via that rhyme scheme. That
Right.
wasn't all that complicated, wordy wise,
Right.
but it will hit you where it needs to, right? So in that stage, I wasn't well rounded. I was like, fuck that. If it ain't lyrics, if it ain't,
I was the same way. I was the same way, like as far as I was heavily East Coast influenced, and I know a few
yeah,
people that when they get back and forth into the big Tupac thing, you know what I'm saying. As far as MCs, a lot of people will say that a few people that I've come across at barbershop talk will say that Pac wasn't the greatest lyricist, but they felt Pac. You know what I'm saying? They felt his passion, and I was like, yeah, I'm cool on that. I need lyrics. You know what I'm saying?
right.
So I was catered more towards Biggie. And you know who else feels the exact same way that you do? My Bink. That was Bink's hip hop confession. He was like, I didn't even really listen to him until after he had passed away. Outside of, I Get Around and Keep
Right.
Your Head Up, he was like, I didn't dig into his catalog like that. I think there's a lot of people that feel that way about his catalog and paying attention to it after the fact. Because I
Yeah.
remember Tupacalypse Now when it came out like 91, but I just remember seeing Trapped on like TV, but I wasn't running to go get that album. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
get it.
because I mean that's what I mean. Like he was who he was. We all saw the changes. We all saw what looked like to me was like, oh, you just became Bishop
Right.
after Juice. You just is kind of it's very transparent.
Right.
And I'm like, why can't y'all see this? But everybody's
Mhm.
like, nah, but it's you. And everybody around me was a Pac fan.
Right.
Understand that.
Wow.
Everybody but me was listening to this.
Right.
And I'm like, I don't know. And it was me. I was the problem. I wasn't well rounded. I couldn't see it for what it was.
Right.
I was so stuck in, the Biggie rhyme scheme.
Right.
You know what I mean? Just and just the
Which
East
is
Coast.
incredible.
That's what
You
I'm
was from
saying.
New
Like
York. You was
the
from upstate New
wordiness,
York.
man, the witty, unpredictable talent and natural
Yeah.
gang. Like it's the wordiness for me. It wasn't. I don't need you to raise me, bro. I'm raised
Right.
already. I don't need that. I want to hear
I
some
don't need a
wordplay.
dad.
Nah, bro.
I need that shit. I
Anyway.
get it. Nah, okay,
But
I can understand
years
that.
later, I grew and I would start listening. I was like, yo, there's a lot to this, So then I started digging in, and we ended up making that tape, and it just became something. And I actually listen to Tupac now.
So the tape was the turning point for you. Which
No,
song?
no.
Which
I was-
song? So
I
what
was-
transitioned you? What got
I
you
was-
on the train after?
It was years before the tape. I wouldn't have did the tape if I didn't, rock with the guy. You know what I mean?
Right.
So he had, like I said, he had passed. It was 7 years between when he died and when we did the damn tape. So a few years after he died, these posthumous albums start coming out. And all of the bootleg shit start coming out. Machiavelli's 78 by
Right.
that time was out. So I'm listening to the homies play it. I'm like, oh, this ain't bad.
Right.
All right,
Gotcha.
and now he's gone. Now he's not talking shit about my guy, but
Right.
my favorite rapper. You know what I mean?
Right.
And, so there was that too. So
I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. Well, I would be remiss to not mention this. Clark probably has no idea, but I got it. The podcast wouldn't be the podcast without me saying this. So, Clark, on the last podcast, one of my hip hop confessions was I was at Raucous one day. Green Lantern was at Raucous. I was a fan of his mixtapes, got his number, and I said I had a session uptown. Green Lantern says, yo, I'm going that way. Like, I'll give you a lift. And I'm like, all right, cool. We get in the Cadillac Escalade, was it? Cold New York day. We get in the truck. Green's playing me some unreleased shit, some unreleased mixes. We riding up the west side, whatever, next to the Hudson, whatever that highway is.
FDR.
Green Lantern gets to an exit, and just says, "You good?" And I'm like, "What?"
God.
Now, Clark, I used to live in New York, but the avenues are the big blocks. The streets are quick. The avenues. Green dropped my ass off. I look like Bruce Leroy when they left him on the middle of the street. So I could not let this podcast go by because I have you on here. Green, why the fuck did you drop me off in the middle of the SDR?
The only thing I vaguely remember the scenario of just sitting in the car for like a second, but I don't remember what the hell happened. But I think back and I'm like, that was so whack. Like, why would I do that? Like, why? Like, I don't know if you know what? I probably apologized to you 20 times in private, but here's my public one. I don't know why. I don't know what the hell happened.
He looked at me and said, "You good?" I looked at the street sign like, bro, I gotta go all, like you couldn't just bang a left and just drop me off. Like, yo, on the FDR Clark, it was freezing. And we right by the water. And I'm like, I could have caught the train.
You said if it was, I was wrong. You said if it was by the Hudson, if it was on the Hudson and you was on the West Side Highway, that's crazier.
Yes.
No, it was the West Side Highway. It was
How
definitely.
could you drop somebody off on the West Side Highway?
Nah, it was like a part where it was like a little shoulder to the right. Like it wasn't the West Side Highway per se. It was, a little driving part where it had a curb. It had a sidewalk. Okay, it had a sidewalk.
Green made that decision like, if you not going to Rochester, you good? Because I'm
going to tell you what he did. What he did was he pulled over at an exit, got right back on at the exit.
Right.
That's what happened.
Yo.
You good? Like you good?
Yo, you know what? You know what it had to have been. As I'm sitting there thinking about it, because this has come up. It had to be because at this time I was commuting a lot back and forth to New York, and like you said, I had the caddy truck. This was mixtape era Green, so I'm dipping and dodging, and as I'm thinking back, I'm like, why would I? Because I was really used to people that's New Yorkers saying, yo, drop me off, let me out here, I'll catch the train to such and such. And I'm not from that. I'm from residential ass Rochester in a whip. So we drive everywhere. So I'm thinking that you're in that same space with all these other fools, but you from VA. You're not
Virginia.
He understands the real drop off.
I'm from Virginia.
So
I'll never forget that.
Oh, I apologize, my brother.
It's all good.
You're too good for that. Why would anybody do that to you?
That's the question I was asking myself. I was standing there free in the freezing cold with that thin ass jacket on.
And wasn't no Ubers.
No Ubers. It was either a cab or walk or a train.
And you had the dreads, so they wasn't picking you up.
Nah. Anyway, thank you for that. Years later, appreciate you finally coming clean.
Yeah, my brother. Man, listen, I got to come clean, bro. That was wild.
Now, before we go to Clark's confession, I do want to make a note that this whole thing right now is legendary to me because, as mentioned earlier, Green Lantern, you have DJed for Eminem and Nas. And Clark Kent, you have DJed for Notorious B.I.G. and Jay-Z. I have the starting lineup of artists that y'all have DJed for is insane to me right now. As a DJ, I'm just sitting there thinking, Jesus Christ, I'm talking to two dudes who DJ for four of the greatest MCs of our generation. Like, that's insane to me.
Can I make it a little bit worse?
What?
You could also add Jay-Z and Snoop to my list.
That's crazy.
Jesus Christ.
And Westside Gunn. Currently.
Wow.
And Snoop.
Wow.
Snoop's, hold on. Right now, Snoop, Nas, and Westside Gunn. Official for all three.
That's crazy.
Wow.
That's dope.
Right now.
That's dope.
That's super dope.
I'm just saying that as a blessing. I don't say that. I'm just want to make it hurt a little bit more. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, bro, you can say that. You can say that. You can say that.
I put in the grind. I've been outside working, bro.
Listen.
I want to add, like, I don't think that the people who get to hear this should take it lightly. And I'm gonna say this because I've worked with Nas on building a show for Nas, and then I watched, later on when you became his DJ, and I'm just like, what he's doing for him musically as a DJ in his show is awesome. So he got a good DJ to do it, and
Yes.
that's dope that he's letting you be integral in the creation of his show, because you can tell. When I did Nas's show, you could tell somebody helped him with his show at that precise moment. When you became his DJ, you could tell he's letting you help him with his show, and I think that's dope.
Yeah. Now,
It's
one
dope.
of the
It's dope of him to allow a DJ to come in and do that. A lot of people are not willing to do that. They're like, I'm
they
the
just want to
artist.
do the records
Yeah,
the way
here's
they want to do them.
exactly, and that's to be respected, but it's also to try to be chipped away at from me. I'm like, listen, bro, let me switch up the beat on that second verse. Trust me. And I'll come in and I'll be like,
Right.
and I'll have the demo version with the vocals on it. Ooh, when the beat switch up, you know what I'm saying? You get that reaction. It's like, yeah, let's try it. And
Right.
then the crowd go crazy, and it's like, boom, now it's
It
in the
worked.
show. you
Right.
know?
But think about this for a second. Think about the list of the guys that we just spoke about, right? You spoke about Eminem, speak about Nas, and we speak about Jay-Z, and we speak about Biggie, right? Those guys are pure MCs. They want to rap. They really don't want to do the other shit. They want to get on stage and be their best MC possible. So Nas letting you do that is not a stretch to me. You know what I'm saying? Big and Jay letting me do that is not a stretch to me. And Eminem, I can't see it being a stretch that he's like, yeah, well, how we gonna make our show dope? You know what I mean? So
Yeah, I'll tell you this though. With M, his beat selection for his music was the most challenging to flip beats under. I'll
I
say
can
that,
imagine that.
like for his
Yeah.
show, because his songs are so sonically like individual for
Yeah.
whatever thought that is, right? It was very challenging to be like, I can't just put anything in as a beat. Not that you would just put anything. It just was the most challenging musical thing to switch out shit for amongst all of the
I could
guys that
imagine
we
that.
was talking about.
Right.
I can
right.
imagine that.
Dope, man. Just a super dope moment. Clark Kent,
Uh-huh.
we got to discuss something before your confession. It's kind of a confession in itself, but I see your face, but brother, we have to discuss this. So, a lot of you may know, and if you don't know, like I said, Clark is my OG. He produced my second single on my first album, which is called Move Your Body. He sampled Jeffrey Osborne, I'm Only Human, made an ill-ass beat, and we came up with a hook that encompassed Biggie and Havoc of Mobb Deep. Years later, 20 years later, I see you talking. I can't remember what you were talking on.
Mm.
And you said, I did Mad Skills, Move Your Body. Yeah. Biggie wanted that beat. And I'm sitting there going,
It's
you
the truth.
never told me Biggie wanted my beat. Why didn't you give Biggie should have taken that?
No. Here's the reason why I couldn't tell you that Biggie wanted the beat. Same reason I told him that he couldn't have Brooklyn's Finest. I gave it to you already. You have to understand, on that one dat where he heard Brooklyn's Finest, right before it was Move Your Body. So he heard Move Your Body, he was like, he didn't jump off of the couch, right? But when he heard Brooklyn's Finest, he jumped off the couch. He was like, I want that. And I want the one before that. And I was like, well, the one before that is for Mad Skills, and this is for Jay, so you can't.
Your label mate.
Yeah, like so.
He was like, he signed it with Junior Mafia signed. You was like, I already did business. It's already done.
Yeah,
and he was like, go get that beat back.
Now he was like, I want that shit. And then he was just like, yo, you giving this shit to everybody. And I'm just like, well, before you, I was a producer.
Right.
You know what I mean? So like maybe, just maybe, I've sold some music before. So
Right.
that was and I think the only reason why that fact came up in that moment is because we were talking about Mad Skills. You know what I'm saying? And it's crazy that we ended up, I probably should have told you that when we ended up with that hook.
When we sampled Biggie,
Yeah, when we sampled him, maybe that's when I should have been like, Biggie wanted this. but you know, it just didn't happen
We
that
in the
way.
studio,
Yeah.
everybody move your body, everybody. I'm like, yo, Clark, that's it, Clark.
Yeah, yeah.
At no point did you
No
look
point,
at me and
nah.
go, well, actually.
What am I supposed to say? I mean, you know, you have to understand once you move away from it, you moved away from it, and probably to a fault of me, like once it's done, it's done. Like I'm moving forward. I don't look back at certain shit. So once it was, you can't have it. Nothing else mattered.
Right.
You know.
Damn.
So
That's a
and the other part is we weren't recording that day. So if we were recording that day, he might have ended up on the song the way he ended up on Brooklyn's Finest because we were recording that day. You get what I'm saying? Like if I'd have been like, I'm about to go do this with Mad Skills right now, it might have been, well, I'm coming with you.
right.
You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
Because when I was like, I'm going to do this with Jay, he was like, yo, I want to be on there. I want that record. I was like, you know what? Come in the studio and wait.
Yeah, come roll with me. Right.
Just wait downstairs. Let me see what I could do. Like it probably would have been a little different with you because we worked in a studio that was around the corner from where we was when he heard the beat.
Wow.
Me and you worked it unique.
Yes.
Oh, actually, we worked upstairs on that song when he heard your song. We were working upstairs in Unique. See, we used to work in Studio B, and that day, me and Biggie was working in Studio C.
Wow.
So he would have,
that.
like, it would have normally been let's go down to Studio B. That's where me and Mad Skills is, and let's see what happens. You know what I'm saying? And for that, he probably would have been on the song too. But you know,
he probably once we had the hook, he probably could have been like, "Yo, just let me do that shit live." Like, you know what I mean?
It would have been, I'm on the shit.
Wow.
He'd have been on it probably. You have to understand, like, something about Big is if he liked a beat and he respected the artist, he'd jump on your song. It wouldn't even be a question. The only question is, can you as an artist get it cleared?
Right.
Or can your label get it cleared?
Right. Then you got to deal with Puff and that whole.
Yeah, that's the reason why Brooklyn's Finest wasn't a single.
Got you. Puff wasn't having it.
Yeah, nah, it was too good for Puff to let that be a single.
I got it. That's just an amazing story, man. Like I never.
Hey, Clark, real quick,
never knew that.
Yo, Clark, I want to give it up to you about the how you did the Me and My Bitch live. Just how that's so timeless and you
Thank
know
you, brother.
just how you finessed just even the intro of it.
Yeah.
When I met you, yo,
Yeah,
bro, like
that you can you know can say thank you to me or give me props for it, but I'm gonna have to give the props to Biggie for letting me control the situation.
facts.
You know what I'm saying? Because
Yeah,
Me and My Bitch, I'm sure you know, Me and My Bitch was a Minnie Riperton sample at first, and then it became the guitar loop that got played over. But when we used to be in my crib trying to figure out a show, I'm like, yo, you should do Me and My Bitch to this, and he's like, do it, and I played it, kept bringing a beat back. He was like, can you do that at a show? And I'm looking at him like, can I do that at a show? Like, I'm pretty good as a DJ. You know what I'm saying? But the funny part is, you know, when we're laughing about it, because we're DJs, right? I'm really not thinking how crazy that might have seemed when all you had was vinyl.
yes,
Right.
And I'm cutting up 2 actual vinyls of Computer Love.
Right.
So what happens when that shit jumps? So him saying, "Can you do that at a show?" was a real question.
yes.
But I don't even think he knew it was a real question. To us, it's a real question.
Yeah, rest in peace, Big Cap.
Big Cap. That's the first thing that comes to mind is the Big Cap Power 106. God bless Big Cap. But I remember. Yeah.
I'm gonna tell
that's
y'all,
different.
there's footage out there to Clark's point. Can you do it live?
Live.
Meant, can you do what you just did outside under sunlight that's melting the vinyl and warping it while we're doing the show to where it may skip.
In front of thousands of people.
Yeah, that you can't control.
Right.
Yeah, everybody wasn't built for those moments. Clearly, Clark was. Jesus Christ. Now, question, because being that you talked about the Biggie, before you get to your confession, I just got one more question. Being that you talked about the original Me and My Bitches over a Minnie Riperton sample, and maybe y'all two might be able to tell me, because I swear to God, I remember it. I remember a version of Nasty Boy over Nasty Girl.
Vanity 6.
Yes, over boom, 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 boom.
Yeah.
It was just Biggie over them drums. That was on an actual tape.
Mm-hmm.
I still want that to this day. I thought it was gonna be the song, and then when it came out, it was different. But
If you remember, the original Me and My Bitch actually came out on that Big Mac cassette.
Yes, which I still have.
That promotional joint. It's on there.
In the Big Mac with the.
Oh, you still got that?
I still have that.
Wow.
Hell yeah.
I still have that. It was paper lettuce and a real bun and a tape.
A real bun. Yep.
I got it from Keisha from Total, handed it to me outside of the New Music Seminar. Blew my fucking mind.
That shit was, to me, that was the illest piece of hip hop promotion material
ever.
Period. Like ever. It made me look at Bad Boy like, yeah, Puff, you about to be crazy. I literally told him that shit, like, yo, you about to be crazy. And he was like, for this? I was like, yes, nigga, for this. This is insanity. And, you know, when you're around and you're a part of it, you don't look at it the right way. But I used to be able to separate myself from the shit that was happening around me. So I would look at this shit and go, this shit says Big Mac. This is crazy. And on one side is Craig Mack, and on the other side is Biggie. And it's crazy. Like, everything on the shit, I was just like, this is going to be problems.
Bro, I remember riding back to Virginia down 95 after the New Music Seminar, me and my manager and a couple of my homies. I sat that shit on my lap like a prized possession. Like, I knew. I was like, this is genius.
Yeah,
like, I couldn't wait to get back to VA and tell people, like, look what the girl from Total gave me. That's the girl from Total. She gave me this standing. They was passing them out outside of the seminar.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy.
That's crazy.
So, Clark, I know you got a million of them.
I don't know, man. I've been interviewed a lot, so all kinds of shit got out.
But a hip hop confession.
There's some shit I can't speak on.
Of course. I don't want that.
But it's funny. This is a hip hop confession. It doesn't actually have anything to do with a person directly in hip hop, but the conversation, funny enough, that Green spoke on Pac, it was about Pac. And I'm in Philly. And I'm in the streets of Philly, and people are talking about best MC this, best MC that. And I was like, well, you know, Pac's nowhere close to one of the best MCs. And the guys was looking at me like, what? I was like, but he's definitely one of the best rappers around, right? That wasn't good enough for them. So when I'm talking about MCs and I'm listening to the Hoes and the Seagulls and the Bigs and the Nas and I'm just going through MCs, right? But I am running it through to them, and they're all like, yeah, he get big, yeah, he's dope, yeah, he's dope. And I'm like, I'm showing you a bunch of dudes who's like way better than this guy as an MC. I said, but none of them dudes rhyme as good as Pac, except Hov and Big. And they were looking at me like, so he's the best. I'm like, no. These guys are lyrically sound. This guy says his rhymes amazingly. Yo, hour later, these dudes are so mad that I am not saying Pac is the best, that I am now standing in a cypher with dudes and one of them got his gun out. And I'm like, I was just like,
And they rap it?
no, it's not a rap cipher. It's a cipher of niggas talking about MCing and
Right.
bars, and they're telling me that Pac is the greatest of all time, and I'm going, no, he's not.
And
I'm
somebody backs out.
yo, but dude backs out. He's like, you ain't gonna be out here talking about that man like that, and I'm like,
Wow.
yo, so I just really looked at everybody standing there who almost is like, word, and I said, so you are willing to shoot me because I don't think he's the best MC around, but we just talked about a bunch of MCs who's better than him. You all agreed. And because I didn't say he was the best, after you agreed that these guys were better, and I showed you where he stands on the rap list, nah, but fuck that. You ain't gonna be talking like that out here. I'm just like, nah, Pac is that nigga.
With a
And I'm
gun
like,
out.
with a gun out. And I was thinking to myself,
I need some
this
new
is
friends.
crazy. No, I just thought it was crazy. First of all, I thought it was crazy, but then it really, really gave me clarity on the things that I was saying about rap and about MCing and all that stuff. And later on in life, somebody was asking me about, who my favorite rappers were. And in the rap conversation, I said, Jeezy. Jeezy's one of my favorite rappers. To me, Jeezy is the new version of Pac. That's what I said. This was years ago. And I said it's because you can actually believe everything that this dude says. Whether he did it or he didn't, you could believe everything Jeezy
His
said.
voice alone sounds believable.
And I said, that's the reason why people love Pac, because they believe everything he said. Whether he did it or he didn't, his inflection, his sincerity makes you believe what he says. And that is the thing that takes an MC to the rapper thing. That is what makes the rapper. The rapper is the whole picture. The MC is the bars. You know what I'm saying? When I almost got shot for not thinking Pac was the best MC.
That's crazy to me.
But you were solid though. You were solid though, Clark.
Yeah, I'm not coming off of that shit, dog. I'm not. And I will never come off of that shit. So even to the point where you were saying that you didn't fuck with him, like, because you didn't hear the bars. Like, respectfully, the bars ain't there. You know what I'm saying? But it's impossible to listen to him and not feel him. And
facts.
100%.
Like, we used to sit around. Me and Jay used to ride around in his car, and we used to listen to Pac. On Jay's first demo is a song that sampled Pac, sampled a part of Pac, something that he said, because we felt him. We didn't say he was ill. We just felt like what he said was ill. We didn't feel like the rhyme was ill. What he said
was ill. Right. No, I totally can get that.
Right. And yeah, like, I almost got shot for not thinking he was one of the best MCs. And I'm thinking,
like, how dare you?
I'm gonna die, and he's still not gonna be one of the best MCs. So I'm just like, what is this all for? You know what I mean?
Now I'm dead.
So like, I'm really, really, I swear to God, I looked at Philly like it was a totally different nation that day. I was like, this is crazy, especially because they got Beanie Siegel. Right. You got Beanie Siegel, you got Ace of Spades, you got Gilly the Kid, you got Ad Lava.
Yeah.
And you think
Black Thought.
Black Thought. Christ, Black Thought.
Pretty Ugly.
P.U.
Pretty Ugly. Brother man, listen to me. When I tell you,
he had another name. What was his other name?
Papes.
See that?
When I tell you, Papes Pretty Ugly was the last. This is just me talking here. He was the last rapper I just believed. Soon as I heard him, I believed it. I'll never forget.
Really was it? So was Spade. Spade was really everything he said.
Spade and Dutch. Listen, bro.
Spade, dog. Everything Spado said, it really, really was that. Beans too. I am not putting anybody in Philly above Beanie's bars. Beanie's bars were.
Sieg. Listen.
Yo, listen, man. Yo,
that's a whole
hold
convo.
on. Beanie Siegel said, he said, the Quran and the 48 laws polish my flaws. The Quran and the 48 laws polish my floors. That means they clean his foundation and they polish his flaws. Okay, yeah, all right, man.
Bro, I remember doing a song with Pretty Ugly when I was on Raucous. Paid him. He came to the studio and I was like, yo, we gonna go 8 for 8. And he was like, all right, cool. I did my 8. He walked in the booth. He put his headphones on. And this motherfucker says, as soon as I stopped rapping, he was looking at the floor. I'll never forget it. He said, I done sold rocks in front of the cops and didn't run. I don't need to lift weights or get in shape. I got a gun. And I was like,
that's Pretty Ugly.
I was like, bro, this dude, like, he's one of my favorites, man. I love Pretty Ugly, man. Papes. Shout out to the boy Papes.
It's crazy because what you call it? Ab Lava might pen-wise might be the best out of Philly. He might not have said it as well as Beanie Siegel, but pen-wise,
right? Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah, shout out to Philly, man. Philly has
there's something in the water.
It's something in the water in Virginia. It's something in the Delaware River in Philly. It's something in the cheesesteaks in Philly. Them boys different.
Actually,
that cheese was different.
I'm gonna say it's something from New York City down to Virginia, because you have to understand, all the way through that, you at the end of it, you get Skills, you get fucking Lonnie. Niggas, people look at Lonnie like he's a DJ,
which he is, but he's an amazing rapper.
You want to know something, dog? I met him as a rapper.
Yes.
I know he was a DJ when I met him, but I met him as a rapper, and he didn't become a DJ to me until 4 or 5 years ago, and he was always a DJ, but he was. Yeah, I used to see Lonnie and be like, dog, when you rapping, baby, when you put some records out, when we do, it would be like, I'm talking like 4 or 5 years ago, still asking him, like, please, man, your pen was wild, B. Just go for it. And he's like, Clark, I'm a DJ. I'm like, no. Yeah, you DJ.
Amazing.
But no,
rapper.
you amazing rapper. I mean, and then you go up and you got Wale, whose pen is the ignorance, like absolute ignorance. And then you keep going up and you got all of them Philly dudes. And then you get to, like, I'm telling you, that corridor all the way down to Virginia, that I-95 corridor is the pens of the United States.
Listen, man, this is a great episode. I thank you both.
I just want to say something before we go off. I did say the whole, all the way up and down the East Coast, right?
Yes.
The wildest pen right now, up and down the East Coast, is Lady London. Okay, now you get in your show. Nah, she's dog. Dope. She's different, baby. We gonna talk. Fucking different. she's and you could believe everything she say.
Facts.
Yo, Skills, I know we about to wrap up. I can sense that you're wrapping us right now. I want to shout you out real quick and say that you went from dope ass rapper to not what's the word? It's a Jamaican word. Fashion. You know, people say, "Oh, that shit is for fashion." Jamaicans say, "Oh, that's for fashion," right? Right. You're not a fashion DJ. You're a real DJ. For years, I've seen
no. Hold watch.
I've seen the videos of you practicing one hand on the wall, and you're up against the wall, and you practicing one hand, like that. You took the craft. You come from a lineage of people that's not going to let you bullshit your way in anyway. Right. So, but I just want to salute you on becoming a official real ass DJ that I tune into and I watch on Twitch. You do the brunch. You do the even the movie nights. You know what I'm saying? You
Thank you, man.
really going in, bro. I want to salute
Thank you,
on that.
man. I'm trying to be the
So,
Steve Harvey of hip hop.
you know, I'm gonna add on to that, and I guess I didn't take a moment to say anything about that because I've been saying that every time I see you. I've been giving
Facts.
you your like, yo,
Yeah.
I
Last
see
time
you.
I
You
saw you in
getting it.
Chicago when the world was
Yeah.
open, you had a
Yeah.
whole convo.
Yeah, you. So I can add on and say, yes, he's very, 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 very serious about it, and I think it becomes. I think it comes from the fact that his pen is so serious. So he's looking at this hip hop thing like, if I start to DJ, I really have to be as good as I am on the mic. Because people are gonna go, why the fuck are you doing that when you could be doing
Right.
that?
Right.
So I think I don't know if I'm right or wrong, but I think that is your motivation to be as good as you are. Plus, you was next to Jazzy Jeff for 5, 6, 7 years. Like
Right,
if you would have
13.
started DJing and not been in that class of DJ, it would have been really whack of you to start DJing.
Right. Right.
So, and then your friends are really good
Right.
DJs.
I have some dope DJ friends. I'm sitting with
For
two
sure.
of them right now.
We
sure.
would not be letting you live either, bro. If you
I
just
know.
pulled
I
up
know.
pressing
No,
buttons, we would not let you live.
I know.
Oh yeah.
I can see
He
y'all
knows-
now. Like,
he
Skills,
knows
what are
that
you doing?
already. He knows
Like I
that
know
already.
if I hopped up and the only time you saw me was on a controller, I know y'all would be in the DMs like Skills. I know you got some tables, bro. Stop playing. Like,
You
yo,
know?
you look crazy out here. I don't want to see you nowhere else with a controller, bro. I've known you since 90s. I know you got tables. Stop playing, bro. Like,
Right.
that's what my friends would say to me.
And
For
you
sure.
could be nice on a controller just to, for the
Right,
people
but
out
the
there.
essence is
right. We
Right.
know.
Yeah,
We get it.
Nah,
I know what you mean.
I did a whole tour with Lekeli 47 with a controller because I ain't feel like
Right.
lugging all that shit. But put me
Right.
in front of some 12s and a fucking mixer, I could still get busy.
You know what they say? Everybody's a DJ until you put some
them-
of these in front of them.
Exactly.
Well, not
Exactly.
these because this is the rain shit, but you know.
Yeah, I get it. Listen, man, I want to thank both of y'all, man. If any of you want to follow Clark Kent, he got his needles out.
Dog, I am sitting at my turntables. This is my
is.
desk. This is my desk.
This is God's favorite DJ at DJ Clark Kent. You can follow him on everything.
Whoop,
You know what
whoop.
I'm saying? Check him out. He's always on doing the Sunday school with D Nice. You know what I'm
Punishing
saying?
shit.
Punishing shit. Y'all can check out DJ Green Lantern at DJ Green Lantern on everything. He does this thing on Saturdays. Skate Saturday.
Soul Skate Saturday.
Soul
That's
Skate
awesome.
Saturday. It's insane.
Awesome.
He's killing it
Awesome.
on Twitch. Got a gazillion followers, and it's a whole vibe, man. I love it, man. I love it. I appreciate both you guys.
Thanks for the
I
love,
will
bro.
catch y'all in a
appreciate
minute,
you,
man.
man.
Love
Thank
you
you for-
dudes, man. Thank y'all, man.
Love
Good to
you.
see
Love
both of
y'all.
y'all.
Yes, sir.
My
Yes, sir.
G's.
Salute, legends,
Hey.
kings, peace, blessings. One.
What's up, Black?
Here's a little story that must be told.
And it goes a little something like this.